Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm going to be playing as Canada in Hearts of Iron 4, and we're going to be doing something a little different. We're building the real-life backbone of the Allied supply chain in the Atlantic, the Canadian Escort Fleet. We all know Canada wasn't the biggest navy, nor was it the flashiest, but in World War II, Canada was responsible for protecting thousands of convoys, which included millions of tons of goods to aid our allies in the war effort. We're making a historical Canadian escort navy. So today, instead of meta builds or world conquest nonsense, we're making a historical Canadian escort navy with enough destroyers, sonar, and depth charges to make Karl Donitz cry. Canada in 1936 is, well, Canada. We all know Canada needs some love from the Paradox team. Canada only has potential for scaling up. The state of Canada currently is pretty abysmal. I'm sure we all know. The key word, though, is potential, because we're going to snowball into one of the most important allied navies in the world. Can we create the historical Canadian escort fleet, or can we build something more impressive than it was historically? All right, we're just going to be doing the normal setup here for Canada. Nothing too special. We're going to stick with the Commonwealth ties. We're going to be building the Navy, so we have to be building naval dockyards until probably 1938, I would assume. Let's get a bunch of those down. We're also going to need a naval engineering facility because Canada, during World War II, near the end of the war, had two escort carriers. So with the new DLC, we'll try and get a few of those out. Now for research, it's just going to be the normal, typical, what you see every day. Research for the beginning. Then we're going to switch into improved destroyers and cruisers. We're also going to need carriers for the basic carrier once we get our naval engineering facility up and running. We also need to take advantage of all the research bonuses that our allies get, so hopefully these bonuses will get a lot bigger in the future. So this new faction system is pretty interesting. So I think we're gonna have to do joint research just so everybody can kind of level up. Canada definitely needs the research ability of the UK and eventually the US when they join. So I think we're gonna go for joint research practices. We'll see if everybody agrees with that. For the beginning, I think we're just gonna be building guns and trains. We'll definitely need trains for sure. So we still are going to build an army and try and fight in Europe as well. But our main focus will be the Navy. As for our Navy, I've made a few historical designs of destroyers, corvettes, frigates, minesweepers. So we'll need to research certain things to get it up to date. They're not the most accurate because there's not enough slots in HOI4 for what they actually had in the real world. There was a lot more AA and depth charges. At the end of the war, the Canadian fleet was around 400 total ships, so that is what we're gonna try and shoot for. It was mostly smaller ships such as like torpedo boats, corvettes, frigates, some destroyers. There was two light cruisers and two escort carriers by the end of the war. So we'll see if we can get those out a lot sooner, what they did in the real world, as they were donations typically from the UK. Most of the ships were. With basic destroyers, we create this class of tribal class destroyers. This is our main destroyer that we're going to be using, focusing on depth charges with sonar and making it as fast as humanly possible. 34.5 knots is pretty fast. So this is the most accurate historical template for this destroyer class that you can get in Hearts of Iron. There's a lot more. You'd probably fill this whole thing out with depth charges if it was more realistic. It is what it is. Let's try our best. All right, so we're probably gonna do speed on the carriers. because we should have range with all the ports that we're going to have with the UK and the Commonwealth and everything, all the allies. Hulls, we're going to be facing submarines, so I hope we're not getting shot by torpedoes. Our screen should do that, so we're going to go with speed to get them as fast as possible, so they're not limiting our cruisers or destroyers. So our escort carrier, historically they only had about 18 to 25 planes on the Canadian escort carriers, so we'll just keep it with 2. Should have at least 1 before the war, which is pretty sick. We'll only do naval bombers as well for the naval attack. We won't need any fighters at all. Now, since we're right before the war, give you a little update of what's going on. We've been exercising our Navy to get a shit ton of naval experience, which has been working extremely well. Infantry is still training. We're getting a lot of XP from there, as well as our Air Force. I've just been building dockyards since then, and we'll switch to mills once we have a certain amount ready. We don't have a lot of civvies, which is a problem. We're going to need to start getting into excavation tech so that we can free up a bunch of our resources from trade, or a bunch of our factories from trade. Grab partial mob as well. And there goes the war. Wait 1 week to join the war. Okay, guess not. They call us in. With the fall of Paris is the end of France. Okay, take these guys on a trip. I'll be going over here. Are they moving to Portsmouth? No. Plymouth. Go to Plymouth. We'll do convoy escorting. Ooh, and we're already clapping their subs. That's what you'd like to see. Do attack. Stalled aggression. Do fleet defense as well. Nice. You gotta love it. It's working out. We are in a battle here. We'll watch this one. Nice. HMS Furious. UK getting that one. Here we go. Get something. Nice. Nice. Hell yeah. Flapping the enemy fleet. Going very well. Big naval battle. We'll sink our subs in the force or something, I guess. We're slowly picking them off, which is pretty sweet. Slowly but surely. Got a double battle going on here? What the fuck was that? Send my boys over to the UK. Do a little Dieppe raid. Now that this invasion's gone, I'm gonna try and see if I can do this Dieppe raid. See how it goes. Give it a try at least. Get some XP out of it. Yep, and that raid went about as well as it did in real life. Slowly picking away at their naval forces. They start with like 60-ish, 50-ish, something like that. They're down to 15 subs. There goes another one. The Allies are just massacring the German fleet. It's crazy. Get in here and try and help these guys, because these guys are all encircled. Not doing too hot. I don't know. They're still good. Got a naval base. But you can't allow Germany to have this. going to create the Minotaur class cruisers, which were given to Canada in 1944. So hopefully we should be able to get these out pretty quickly. These are as close as they would look in real life. There's definitely more armaments on them, but it's as close as I could get it. We'll make 4 of them if we can. Germany does not look like it's doing very well right now. What is going on with them? Might have to take advantage of that. This River class frigate I think we're going to use just because it has the anti-sub warfare stuff on it, as well as extra detection stuff. We don't really need torpedoes right now, so we'll get that going. Swap it out immediately. Well, now that that's over, I think I'm gonna call it there because I don't really feel like dealing with the Soviets. Because this was a naval video. But now we have a massive, massive navy because we just stole a bunch. But also, we have probably around 100 or so ships of our own. So I'd say that's pretty good. And that's the Canadian escort fleet. Simple, efficient, deadly against submarines, and one of the most historically accurate Canadian playthroughs you can do. This is easy to play, easy to learn, but still insanely important for Allied victory. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, comment, and what country you want to see next, and subscribe for more historical HOI4 runs.